Today I'm presenting a little bit more detail on just the organ patches and section on the Genos2 and also the vocal harmonizer. Hi, Ted Barsley with Alamo Piano Galleries. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. And we've had a request to do a couple more tutorial type things, and I'm doing that today. If you haven't already, please shop our store at alamopianogalleries.com. A lot of the keyboards like this Yamaha Genos2 is available there, along with information about pricing and availability. The other thing I wanted to mention is that I'm going to focus on two kind of brief overviews of the organ flute functions and also on the vocal harmonizer. There's a couple of tricky things that you need to do at first. And so what I'm doing here today is starting off with how this is set up. Pretty much it starts on a concert grand setting. And so what I'm going to do is go to the organs, and I have selected, there's like 5 or 6 pages, 9 pages of organs, and they all have, most of them say organ flutes. And the thrill about that is you can just go in and pick any one of them, and the sound is there, and that's how they set it, along with the joystick controls that go with it. Now, what I wanted to point out today is this. You want to pay attention to the slider assignment, and those are going to line up here. It's going to tell you what these sliders are going to control. And like the sliders on any organ, this is a lot like some of the Yamaha organ controls they have. Also the Nord and I believe the CK88 has these kind of sliders in it. But these serve multiple functions on this keyboard because it is a workstation. So assign it to where it has the organ flute lengths assigned to the mini screen above. And then each one of these, when you touch them, will adjust this basic setting. I haven't touched one, but when you go, they light up. And that flute begins to sound, bringing out the different frequencies of the entire thing. So if you go to another one, let me see, organ clarinet. I don't know who would use that sound. So I'm going to go through some of these, and notice they're all going to have organ flutes. Most of these are going to be, at first, they're going to be like the Hammond type organ, and then later on there's actually some, what do they call them? In the back pages, home organs and theater organs that have full drawbars. Matter of fact, let's go there right now. Home organ jazz. Notice when I switch to an organ sound that does not have the flutes, the slider assignment changed to each different channels. So when I go back, I want to see if this goes back to the original. You have to reassign your sliders. That's what I wanted to show about the organs today, is that you have to kind of make sure that your slider assignment stays on and that you have one that's selected where it says organ flutes so that it will respond to changes on the flutes, the drawbars. Next up on the list, I wanted to talk about the vocal harmonizer, and this has a couple of tricky things. It's a lot like the vocal harmonizer on the PSR SX 900 and 700. And since I started with the organ, we're going to pick up here. I'm going to cancel this screen, and I'm going to go right here where it says Harmony Vocal. And then you can pick any one of these that you like. And so let's see what they have at the beginning. Here's a quartet harmony. And so in order to get that to work through the microphone, you need a microphone plugged in. And then you also need to have the vocal harmony button on. And here, what I always do, and you have to do this, is go down to the menu and hit the vocal harmony button. That brings this up. And then you change the mode to where it goes on vocoder so that when you play and sing through it, I think I'm going to have an organ sound on here. I'm going to change that. I'm going to go back to just the piano sound so it doesn't clog things up. Theoretically, this should have harmonies the very first time if I did everything right. Listen to the harmonies. Now, when you change it, you have to kind of go through the same process. So I'm going to go here and change the voicing to, let's do jazzy quartet. Schlager trio sounds really good generally. So I'll go there and do the same thing here to change this to the vocoder. Listen to the harmonies. Pretty neat. What I wanted to point out is there is a menu button that you have to touch on the screen after you select your voice. So if you go to, I want to hit one of those choirs. And the sound effects are in here as well too. Usually like heavy voice. Bob and Mary is in there. So if you sing, listen to the harmony. And then there's Mary, Bob. So if you sing in a falsetto, it should come out like a guy. Listen to the harmonies. God, that sounds horrible. Anyway, we have mixed vocoder. Listen to the harmonies. That's the ransom note message. So there it is. I have a little bit of extra detail on how to use the vocal harmonizer on the Genos2. It is used identically to the PSR SX 900 and 700 series. The difference being is how you access the source, whether it's coming from the chords or it's coming from the microphone to find the harmonies on the source, but it's the same kind of thought pattern that goes through it. It did take me a while because I'm used to seeing a menu button, and I looked all over for a menu button, and it's actually, the menu is laid out down below. And with that, I would remind you, this is Ted Varsley with Alamo Piano Galleries. I wanted to give a brief overview of some control panel functions on the Genos2. And stick around, we have more Genos2 videos coming up. And thanks for the suggestion of doing some more type of tutorials. And we have a few more of those coming out. Well, thank you so much for watching the videos.